Live? Excellent. Hello, everyone. I think we've got some people watching already, which is new, so that's amazing. I realised I hadn't added up how many this was out of, so I'm just doing a very, very quick tally whilst other people join in. I think it's just out of 20. Hang on.
Mary Hammer Farm has pencil and paper at the ready.
Who does?
Mary Hammer Farm.
Mary has pencil and paper at the ready. Me too. I've got pencil and pen at the ready. I need it. I feel lost without a pen and paper at all times in my life. 2, 3, 4,
Serena
5.
Cooper is here.
Hello, Serena.
Sewing Club represent.
She is Sewing Club represent every week so far, I think. So I think this week's is out of 25. I think I'm being a bit mean making it out of 25, but I've split the last 5 picture questions.
If someone had never seen a sewing quiz before, what is it?
I'm just getting to that. Good Lord, man. Okay, so this is sewing quiz. I'm just sort of buffering a bit in case anyone else is joining because we started very promptly this week, which is a little bit unlike us. So it's week 4.
Cousin Rosie's here.
Cousin Rosie. Oh, that makes me sound like an Amish person. Hi, Rosie.
It makes you sound like an Amish person if you're married to
Cousin who's also... Oh, hello, Rosie. How are you? That was quite funny. I think Martin's going to share. We've got a paired in the room with us as well as Martin. Everyone knows Martin, don't they? He's my technical advisor. Without him, this wouldn't happen. We'd have to do it by like email or something. But we've got a paired in the house. He's behind me having a little nap. We've got a picture we'll share at some point. So no paired cam this week, but we do have paired picture. And yeah, I'm trying to think what else I can say to you guys. Lots of new sewers I've noticed knocking around in the world at the moment, asking about machines. So that's exciting. If this lockdown has been good for one thing, I think a lot of new people have started sewing, which is amazing. And I was at my local sewing shop this morning, have to go round the back and we have to stand 2 meters apart. But yeah, he's been really, really impressed with the amount of people still sewing. So that's really good. Big up to you if you've only just started sewing. Big up to you if you're still sewing scrubs or scrub bags or headbands, or like me, if you've moved on to sewing masks. So many masks to be sewn. And it's not, I don't know, tedious is the wrong word, but it's labour intensive, I'll tell you that much. I think I can do 50 in a day, but that's a long day. And I'm getting a bit tired of them now. But it's still good because orders are still coming in from doctors and care homes and pharmacy. A pharmacy contacted me the other day saying they wanted some, but also they had elderly customers who were panicking a bit and wondering where they could buy masks. So I've sort of dumped a good number on them as well, just to give out free to like elderly people who might need them. So that made me feel pretty good about myself, I have to say. Doctors, all sorts, nurses, loads of people have been asking for masks. That's really good because it looks like we might be sort of like going into the sort of downturn of lockdown at the moment. But one of the things that everyone's saying is to wear a mask. So wear your masks, wash your hands, stay indoors, but also go out if you can, who knows. So yeah, this is Sewing Quiz. This is week 4. I've been thinking it was week 3 all week. So all my things for Martin are labelled week 3. Oh, the fun. But it is week 4. I can't believe I've been 4th week. That's amazing. And someone mentioned last week that I should maybe do some questions about designers, sort of fashion designers and things like that. So I've sort of loosely based it around that request with some fun picture things at the end because I like the picture round because it's easy to write and also fun, apparently because I'm very mean. So yeah, this week is out of 25, but if you want the easy version, it'll be out of 20. And I'll explain that when we get to the last 5 questions. But yeah, anything else I should say?
Well, we're going to the perd pig.
We're going to the perd pig. Yay, there's a perd pig coming up. Yay, look at Perd. He was cleaning his belly. Perd is very, very fluffy. He's now curled up in a very tight ball. Sleeping, so that's good. Unlike last week where he was whinging the entire time I was doing this. I took him outside for a walk outside on his lead and gave him some food and he's happy as Larry now, so that's awesome.
Sandra Andrews will hopefully do better this week.
Sandra, I believe in you. I believe you will do better this week as well, although everyone's doing amazingly. The first week was the hardest, I think. I think I've managed this week to make it a little bit easier.
Scissor Chef.
Oh, Scissor Chef! Yay! San Francisco, represent! Amazing.
Shaz Gifford James, so many masks.
So many masks, Shaz. Oh, yeah. But they look so pretty all piled up, don't they, when you've done? And the sense of accomplishment is really nice, so that's okay. But I have to move on. I've got to pattern cut for the rest of this week, so that's going to be fun. So I'm going to have to do sort of about 20 masks really quickly in the morning and then pattern cut for the rest of the day because I've got about 6 days of pattern cutting ahead of me. Oh, the fun. But there we go. Right then, do you reckon we can start? Is everyone settled down? Are you sitting comfortably? My mum used to say that. Anyway, right, so week 4 out of 25, question number 1. Vivienne Westwood's son founded Agent Provocateur. True or false? Excellent pronunciation of fake French there, I think you'll find, Martin.
Well, you've had time to practice.
Yeah, I was thinking the other day, loads of people are learning languages with Duolingo and stuff whilst they're in lockdown. A, no time. B, God, I really sort of wish I could get back on Duolingo. It's very good, Duolingo, if you want to learn although they're obsessed with apples and cats, aren't they?
You told me to go home once.
The black cat has a green apple, things like that.
Other language apps are available.
Other language apps are available, yes. So question number 1 for 1 point. Vivienne Westwood's son founded Agent Provocateur. Is that true or false? So question number 2 for 1 point. This cat is called Choupette or Choupette? Choupette? Which designer does she belong to? A, cute. B, who owns her? Nobody can own a cat. Who feeds her daily? So this cat is called Choupette. Which designer does she belong to? It's question number 2 for 1 point. And you've got a selection there, which are also up, obviously. A, Karl Lagerfeld. B, Vivienne Westwood. C, Tommy Hilfiger. Or D, John Galliano. So who do you reckon gives her a daily walk? She's very cute, but her ears aren't big enough, I don't think. I like cats with huge ears. They make me laugh. So question number 3 for 1 point. Who designed a collection christened The New Look? I'm very hoping all of you have gotten this. So
River Island, wasn't it?
River Island. River Island's popular collection. A New Look. Oh God, I wish that was true. So question 3 for 1 point. Who designed a collection christened The New Look? Very pretty it was too. Lots of technical clicking going on there, Martin.
I broke it, but I fixed it again.
It's okay. We broke it, but you fixed it, everyone, so it's all good. So, question number 4 for 1 point. On average, how many yards of fabric did a New Look dress take? So when they were making these lovely New Look dresses, which I'm sure you're all familiar with, how many yards of fabric went into them on average? A, 15 yards, B, 20 yards, C, 25 yards, or D, 30 yards. It's in yards because it's old money. Just about.
I think you're just playing favourites to a lady in San Francisco.
No, I don't understand why they're still in yards in America and inches. It broke me when I worked out there. They're in a very old money. Everything's in inches though. It's absolutely insane. When I worked out there, I had to relearn everything. It was absolutely mental. Did not like it. Because centimetres break down a lot easier than inches. Anyway, so on average, for question number 4 for 1 point, on average, how many yards of fabric did a New Look dress take? A, 15 yards, B, 20 yards, C, 25 yards, or D, 30 yards. Of beautiful, beautiful fabric. Unrationed fabric. They were very pretty, Martin. Although I wouldn't want to wear one these days. They're a bit corsety, weren't they? So question number 5 for 1 point. Which designer launched a limited edition t-shirt and baby wear line with the words, "I am not a terrorist, please don't arrest me," emblazoned across them? Good use of the word emblazoned there. I thought this is fairly obvious, but I'm not sure if it was. But yeah, question 5 for 1 point. Which designer launched a limited edition t-shirt and babywear line with the words, "I am not a terrorist, please don't arrest me," written on it?
Miriam says we have yards and inches because we are a backwards people who can't accept new ideas. Sigh.
Oh, yeah, so are we, Miriam. It's absolutely fine. We're going backwards there and backwards there if it helps. But at least we've got centimetres. For now. That'll be the next campaign, won't it? Make Britain great again. Bring back the inch. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, so that was question 5. Question 6 for 1 point. What rival couturier and contemporary described Dior's designs as 50s horrors? I like the idea of that. So question 6 for 1 point. What rival couturier and contemporary of Dior's described Dior's designs as 50s horrors? I think that's amazing. Turns out couture in sort of like back in the day was, it's probably still incredibly bitchy. I read some stuff today. It was really good fun. So that was question 6, guys. Question 7 for 1 point. Dior's sister Catherine was a member of the French Resistance. Is that true or false?
I know this one.
Do you?
Yeah, it was in my book.
Well,
the book I got you.
Be quiet about
you
it.
You didn't read and I did.
What book?
The Parisienne.
Oh, it looked really sad. I read a bit of it.
Was.
Yeah, I didn't like La Parisienne, guys. It's a really good book, but I had to stop it a little bit in because it was very, very sad. Oh, that's in it, is it? Oh, that's interesting.
I fear I may have given something away.
Oh yeah, I fear in discussing it with you, I might have corroborated what you've given away. Quick, we'll have to use your emergency question now. I'm writing emergency question at the end.
Would you rather?
Would you rather have a ham hand or an armpit that dispenses sun cream? No, shh. Right. Let's get serious, people. It's very serious. It's sewing.
If you get that reference, you get a bonus point.
Yeah, if you get that reference, get a bonus point. Question number 7 was: Dior's sister Catherine was a member of the French Resistance. Is that true or false? Moving on to question 8 for 1 point. What animal is engraved on the buttons of Chanel's tweed suits? I'm super sorry if I've spelled Chanel at any point incorrectly. It did a load of autocorrect on me. Kept saying channel. So question 8 for 1 point. Which animal is engraved on the buttons of Chanel's tweed suits? A peacock, B, a lion, C, a unicorn, and D, a snake. I didn't know this, but it's pretty cool. I know Vivienne Westwood puts things on her buttons, but I didn't know Channel did.
Lilia's loving this.
Lilia's loving this. Hey, Lilia. Oh my God, youngest watcher ever, I think, in Lilia. Hope it's not too technical. It is very nerdy. Soz. How's the bunny rabbit?
Does she have a bonus point if she puts a bomber jacket on?
yeah, if you're wearing your bomber jacket as you do this, Lilia, you get a bonus point. So question 8 for 1 point was: what animal is engraved on the buttons of Chanel's tweed suits? A peacock, B, a lion, C, a unicorn, or D, a snake? So moving on, question 9 for 1 point. Which French designer introduced trousers for women? So which designer went, fuck that, I'm not wearing those anymore. Oh, God, I said a rude word. Shh, don't tell Lilia. And introduced trousers, like popularity of trousers, trouser wearing for women. I think you had the split trousers before then, the pantaloons, for bike riding in Victorian times.
Wasn't it Mrs. Fisher?
Mrs. Fisher introduced them. When was Mrs. Fisher set? 20s, I think.
Yeah.
No, it's a bit later than that, actually.
Well, that would make Mrs. Fisher wrong.
Well, no, it's like, so you had outcast people who wore trousers, but they were a bit like, oh dear, I don't like her. Look at her with her split leg apparatus. How dare she? How very dare she? But this designer sort of introduced the popularity and allowed the wearing of trousers for women. So that's question 9. Which French designer introduced trousers for women? 1 point. And question 10 for 1 point. How old was Yves Saint Laurent when he took over Dior? A, 18, B, 21, C, 26, or D, 32?
Wasn't he a Bond villain?
Yves Saint Laurent? No. He was very clever. He was very handsome when he was young, Yves Saint Laurent. Suspiciously handsome, actually. Because Dior famously died 10 years after he opened his house, didn't he? So he named his successor in Yves Saint Laurent. But how old was he when he took over? A, 18, B, 21, C, 26, or D, 32? All very young ages, because I'm so very, very old.
You're not old, you're refined.
And old, I'm refined. I like that. I'll be refined. So, question 11 for 1 point. Chanel was a cabaret singer before she was a designer. Is that true or false? I only assumed that if it is true, she looked a bit like Cabaret because of her wonderful bob she used to have. Bob. So question 11, Chanel was a cabaret singer before she was a designer. Is that true or false? And that's for 1 point. Now we're going to crash into a slightly different subject matter here. But this is quite interesting. I learned some stuff today. I confirmed some stuff. So question 12 for 1 point. In 1969, NASA recruited seamstresses from Playtex, a lingerie brand, to sew spacesuits. Is that true or false? Anything about 60s, 70s NASA is fascinating, isn't it, I think? It's a bit glamorous, I think. Why? It's terrifying as well, but it's a bit glamorous.
You're just saying it because you're scared of heights.
I am very scared of heights and flying and not having my feet on the ground. So question 12 for 1 point. In 1969, NASA recruited seamstresses from Playtex, which is a lingerie brand, to sew spacesuits. Is that true or false? And question 13 for 1 point. Back then, so around about 1969, how much did the fabric used to make spacesuits cost per metre? This is, I'm not sure I've put that on the question, but this is per metre. How much did the fabric used to make spacesuits cost? Is it A, $1,000, B, $2,000, C, $3,000, or D, $4,000? Whichever one of those is well expensive, isn't it? When you think about today's money, what is that? $90,000. I was quite proud I found the dollar sign on my computer for this as well.
Shift free.
So question 13 for 1 point. Back then, so around about 1969, how much did the fabric used to make spacesuits cost? Is it $1,000 a metre, B, $2,000 a metre, C, $3,000 a metre, or D, $4,000 a metre? Phew, Eckers, I'd be scared to cut that, wouldn't you? Do you reckon like then their first day they pinned it and everyone was like, no, don't pin it, because it'd make holes in it. God, I'm hilarious.
Caitlin Greenwood
says, Caitlin, hello.
Laura, these questions are well hard.
They're not hard. You know Martin.
I thought she was supposed to be smart.
Oh, Caitlin's very smart.
Yeah.
That's why I do true and false and things like that, Caitlin. I got told off after the first week when everyone got 4 points out of 20. I felt mean, but it was funny. So that was question 13. So question 14 for 1 point. How does the spacesuit manufacturer ILD Dover ensure there are no pins left inside a spacesuit? Oh God, Per just started collecting pins. It's terrifying. So yeah, how does the spacesuit manufacturer ILD Dover ensure there are no pins left inside a spacesuit when it's all made? They've all done their business. They've finished it and they're happy and they're like zipping the astronaut up. No, not quite, but they're just getting it ready to be shipped off and ready to go up into space. What do they do a couple of times, I'm not going to lie, to make sure there are no pins left inside of it, which, I mean, is hilarious that there'd be pins left inside of it, but also really scary. So that was question 14.
So we do ask people not to answer in the chat.
Oh yeah, don't answer in the chat, guys, if you can help it. People are guessing all over. So that was question 14. So question 15 for 1 point. How long does it take to manufacture a spacesuit? So how long do you reckon it takes this company, ILD Dover, to make a spacesuit? I couldn't decide how long I thought it would take them.
Are you talking about a contemporary suit or an Apollo era suit?
These were all based a sort of 60s-ish. So they're back in the day suits. I think this is to do with an International Space Station suit, actually, so it's still pretty old. Yeah? Yeah, they've got suits on the International Space Station that are 19 years old.
That's not Apollo era.
Oh no, but it's not like last week. I'd say 19 years old is back along a bit.
There's a joke to be made about how the astronauts are unfashionable.
Yeah, they're really out of fashion. Apparently, NASA keep going, it'll go a bit longer, and then the seamstresses are like, it's only supposed to last 15 years. I read a really couple of really interesting articles actually this week about NASA spacesuits. Anyway, that was question 15. For 1 point, how long does it take to manufacture a spacesuit? So how long do you reckon it takes them to sew it all up, all the gubbins and everything?
Miriam is flaming this week and guessing on almost all of them.
Guess away, Miriam, I reckon. Might get closer than you think. So questions 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20 are sewing tools. So every question is the same. What is this sewing tool and what is it used for? So I've said that they're 2 points, but really I suppose the answer is what it is. So I don't know, 2 points if you get it right. There you go. So you could win 10 points right now if you wanted to. So the first one, what is this sewing tool and what is it used for? And I hard want one of these in my life. I think they're absolutely beautiful. So it's 2 points for each one of these. So question 17, same question. You have to look close at this one, then it'll be obvious, I reckon. Martin's looking very closely at it. So pretty. I went on eBay and typed in historical sewing tools and spent about £1,000 of my money in my imagination in one hit. There's some amazing stuff on there. So question 18, what is this sewing tool and what is it used for? Again, 2 points.
Do you want to read the article on spacesuits now?
Yeah, I can probably share it actually on the. It'll take me a while to find it again. There was a couple. One was about women sewing up spacesuits, and one was about just the general history of. I'll try and find them in my history, and I'll post it. I'll post it on the bottom of this thread, but it might take me until tomorrow to find them. I don't know. It fascinates me, NASA. Anything to do with NASA like now, it was all just rubber bands and gaffer tape, wasn't it? Like, it just absolutely fascinates me. So question 19, what is this sewing tool and what is it used for? Perd's licking my leg. Thank you, Perd. This is another thing of beauty. Oh, I want all of these things, but I think I would be scared to use them because they're proper antiques. If you can hear rustling, Martin's eating chocolate. Got that bad, does it, Martin? He just nodded. So final one, question 20. What is this historical sewing tool and what is it used for? And if you're as old as me, you'll get that in a heartbeat. I think I'll get Martin to guess each one as we go through when we're doing answers. There we go then. So that's all 20 questions. I'm just going to run through them super duper quick again so everyone can hear them again, just in case you missed any, or I don't know, you want to guess again, or I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've started giving answers in questions and stuff, so hearing them might give you some little tricky poos. So question 1, Vivienne Westwood's son founded Agent Provocateur, true or false? Question 2. This cat is called Choupette. Which designer does she belong to? Karl Lagerfeld, Vivienne Westwood, Tommy Hilfiger, or John Galliano. Oh dear. Question 3. Who designed a collection christened The New Look? Question 4. On average, how many yards of fabric did a New Look dress take? A, 15 yards, B, 20 yards, C, 25 yards, or D, 30 yards. Question 5 for 1 point. Which designer launched a limited edition t-shirt and baby wear line with the words, "I am not a terrorist, please don't arrest me"? I think all children's clothes should have that typed on them because that is freaking hilarious. So question 6. What rival couturier and contemporary of Dior's described Dior's designs as 50s horrors? I love the idea of that. I'd love to be described as a 50s horror. Question 7 for 1 point. Dior's sister Catherine was a member of the French Resistance. Is that true or false? He worked in his couture house during the war. They made stuff for sort of Nazi occupation and things like that, but pretty dresses for their wives and stuff as a way of keeping the couture houses going, which is quite a fascinating, whole fascinating thing. Anyway, question 8. What animal is engraved on the buttons of Chanel's tweed suits? Is it A, a peacock, B, a lion, C, a unicorn, or D, a snake? I don't know if that's easy or not. Anyway, question 9 for 1 point. Which French designer introduced trousers for women and shocked the world? Question 10 for 1 point. How old was Yves Saint Laurent when he took over Dior? A, 18, B, 21, C, 26, or D, 32? That was a good exhibition. Who went to that exhibition? That was blooming amazing. You can see it all online now. Have you seen the video that's going around, the YouTube video of the whole exhibition online? I'm going to watch it. It's the French one as well, so I'm definitely going to watch that on the big screen. The big screen is our TV. It's not that big. Question 11 for 1 point. Chanel was a cabaret singer before she was a designer. Is that true or false? Should probably do more research, shouldn't I? I'm just listing out facts willy-nilly. So this is where we take a turn, guys, up into space.
I thought these were just things you wanted to know about. And
I know a lot of this actually, because we got, oh God, it got beaten into us on both my degrees, like history of fashion. Although not much pre sort of probably about 1850s stuck, I have to say. Maybe in a few weeks' time we might do some proper Queen stuff or something, you know, back in the day. Anyway, question 12 for 1 point was, in 1969, NASA recruited seamstresses from Playtex, a lingerie brand, to sew spacesuits. Is that true or false? And then question 13, back then, how much did the fabric used to make spacesuits cost per metre? Was it A, $1,000, B, $2,000, C, $3,000, or D, $4,000? Either one is horrifyingly expensive. I think I've only once used fabric that was £1,000 a metre. I mean, it was, they told me afterwards, yep, yeah, and I nearly puked. But it was after, so it's fine. So question 14, how does the spacesuit manufacturer ILD Dover ensure there are no pins left inside a spacesuit? So that's 1 point. And then 15, how long does it take to manufacture a spacesuit? That's a wild question, isn't it? It could take anything. So we're going to run through the picture questions again, super quick. So question 16 was this one, with a little birdie on top of it. And then I really want this actually. I might have to put this on my birthday list. Question 17 was this little spoolie thing. Pads in the cupboard. Question 18 was these, I don't know. If you don't know what they are, they look like mini spades or trowels. They're not. Question 19 was this one. And then question 20 was this one. That's it for now. So yeah, I'll give you guys a few minutes or a few seconds to kind of have a look at your things, change your mind and change it back again, which is what I normally do. change it from the right answer to the wrong answer. That's also what I normally do. So each of those picture questions worth 2 points each. So you could have gotten 10 points like in the end there, which is really cool. I'm going to have a sip of tea because my mouth's dry. There we go. When should we start answers?
Give him a moment.
Give him a moment. Perd's sniffing everything. Perd likes to sniff things. Any package that comes into the house, Perd has to have a sniff. Check it's okay, you know. It's like a bomb dog. I'm looking out and it's still lovely out there. It's been a nice couple of days, hasn't it, weather-wise?
Scissor Chef went to the exhibit, but guessing she left her scissors outside.
Scissor Chef, which exhibition did you go to? Did you go to the French one? Because that's quite a trek for you. Martin's attacking. Yeah, you get it. Oh dear. I think most people, I went on the second to last day to the London exhibition, a very last minute thing, and it was lovely. My favourite was the Toile room with all of the mock-ups all around. It's absolutely beautiful. I wish they'd do more exhibitions like that, like huge exhibitions of one designer. It's just lovely. They did one about 10 years ago, gosh no, longer than that, about 15 years ago, Vivienne Westwood, and they mounted all of her corsets at head height in Perspex body, so you could look up into the corset and see how it was made. It was absolutely beautiful.
She went for one in London at the V&A.
Oh wow, good on you, man.
Didn't bother to come to Sewing Club.
Oh, she didn't come to Sewing Club, didn't say hi, didn't pop in for a cup of tea.
Sarah Lock is managing to watch whilst she sews tonight.
Yeah, Sarah, I don't need you to make masks that badly. You can have a break at some point. Now I'm feeling mean. I'm doing a quiz and people are making masks for me. Oh, I did finish 70 this morning. That what I was doing yesterday, Martin, I counted this morning and it was 70. Ugh. Anyway, should we do some answers? I'm excited about the answers.
Yes.
Yes? What?
Scissor Chef just protests that she didn't know you then.
Yes, I wasn't internet famous then, darlings. So anyway, right, so answers to these. I'm going to start now, I reckon. Perds, yeah, you're probably going to see a perd at some point leaping across me. So, question 1. Vivienne Westwood's son founded Agent Provocateur. Is that true or false? It is actually true. Her other son is an erotic photographer, so she's got some good kids there, I reckon. Oh, God. So question number 1, that was true. Question 2, the cat called Choupette, which I think that's the right pronunciation. It double T. Choupette doesn't look right. Choupette. Which designer does this belong to? The answer was Karl Lagerfeld. He said he used to have dogs, but you have to walk them, and he can't walk so well anymore. So now he's got cats because they look after themselves, which made me laugh because they do. But she's got her own Instagram and everything. It's absolutely mad. So question 2, the cat called Choupette belongs to Karl Lagerfeld, which was A, answer A. So question 3, who designed a collection christened the New Look? And that, of course, was Dior. I'm hoping you guys got that. For 1 point, that was. Question 4, on average, how many yards of fabric did a New Look dress use? And that one was, the answer to that was B, 20 yards. 20 yards of fabrics. Karl Lagerfeld was A. And who designed a collection christened the New Look was A, Dior. It was only one answer.
I'm spotting a pattern here.
What?
All the answers are A.
Yeah, no, I spotted that, and after this I've changed it.
Everyone's just changed it.
I realised I was doing it. The answer is A. Anyway, question 4, on average, how many yards of fabric did a New Look dress use? That was answer B, 20 yards. Gosh, 20 yards. I think that's an insane amount of fabric. But then I'm making a Dane dress at the end of this week, and there's going to be about 10 yards, or 10 metres, sorry, of fabric in that. So it adds up quick, guys, I have to say. It's just a bit brutal managing that amount of fabric. So question 5, which designer launched a limited edition t-shirt and babywear line with the words "I'm not a terrorist, please don't arrest me" on it? And that was Vivienne Westwood, of course. I like a bit of Vivienne Westwood. She's all right. So that was 1 point. Question 6 for 1 point. What rival couturier and contemporary of Dior's described Dior's designs as 50s horrors? And it was Chanel. She also said he dressed women like armchairs. Which made me really howl, because when you think about Chanel's designs, they're all flowy and beautiful and like angular and architectural and very, very simple. And Dior is corseted. He's got, you know, layers of fabric and tulle, and there's padding and all sorts building up his designs. And I could see that Chanel would think he dressed women like armchairs or 50s horrors. But you know, she was a massive Nazi, so don't like her really. Anyway, so question number 7 for 1 point. Dior's sister Catherine was a member of the French Resistance. Is that true or false? And it's true. She was a member of the French Resistance, and when the war was over, he named his Miss Dior perfume after her. Oh, purd.
They were playing it up because of his allegations of collaboration.
Yeah, no, he didn't collab. I think those allegations of collaboration for Dior was because he kept his couture house open during the war. Everyone assumed he was collaborating, but he wasn't. He was just making sure that his ladies had a business to work at, and his business survived, which was probably quite clever. It's probably quite a lot of quite grey areas in the Second World War like that. But yeah, he named his perfume after her, which was rather sweet. Anyway, so question 8. What animal is engraved on the buttons of Chanel's tweed suits? Is it A, a peacock, B, a lion, C, unicorn, D, a snake? And the answer to that one is B, a lion. Apparently she's Leo. Her star sign is Leo, and she's put lions on everything, even her gravestone. It's mad. I hadn't noticed them all before, but actually when you look at Chanel now, you're like, yeah, there's a ton of lions about. So that was the answer to question 8 for 1 point was B, a lion. And then question number 9, which French designer introduced trousers for women? And that was Chanel. She was on holiday in Venice and wanted to get in and out of her gondola easier. Which is fair, I think. It's fair to want to mooch around. I don't know if you can hear a massive struggle going on in the background, but it is Martin and Perd. He's going to jump on your keyboard in a minute. You need to get him. Oh dear. So yeah, there we go. Chanel brought trousers to the masses. So question number 10 for 1 point. How old was Yves Saint Laurent when he took over Dior? The answer to that one was B, 21. So young. So you could have had A, 18, B, 21, C, 26, or D, 32. And the answer to question 10 was B, 21. So young. Absolutely mad. So question 11 for 1 point was Chanel was a cabaret singer before she was a designer. Is that true or false? And that's true. She was a cabaret singer before she was a designer, and it's actually how she got the name Coco. She used to sing songs called Coco Rico, and I don't know if I'm going to do this right. Kikou à vous Coco. Kikou à vous Coco. But later on, apparently she told everyone her father had given her the nickname. Full of it, old Chanel. But yeah, so it was true that she was a cabaret singer before she was a designer. Question 12 was, in 1969, NASA... Oh, I'm going to close the door so Pad doesn't get back in. Ha! In 1969, NASA recruited seamstresses from Playtex, a lingerie brand, to sew spacesuits. Is that true or false? And that is true.
We need to answer 10 again.
Can't answer 10? That was ages ago.
Yeah, we had a momentary dropout.
Oh, did we? Oh, okay. I'm blaming Perd for that. Hang on. Should I get him out?
Yeah.
We're having a struggle with Perd, guys. I'm just going to take him out so that we think the dropout was him. I'm back, baby. We're back.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so question 10. How old was Yves Saint Laurent when he took over Dior? The answer to that was B, 21. Question 11. Chanel was a cabaret singer before she was a designer. Is that true or false? That was true. Did we drop out for all of that?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Had interesting facts about how she got the name Coco. Anyway. Question 12. In 1969, NASA recruited seamstresses from Playtex, a lingerie brand, to sew spacesuits. Is that true or false? And that is true. Because apparently they were the only seamstresses that NASA could find that could do all the little bits, all the little twiddly bits. Which is just wonderful, I think. I bet they had all sorts of technical men trying to do it. And then the ladies came in and were like, hang on, I've sewn bras, I know what I'm doing. I love it. So question 13 for 1 point. Back then, how much did the fabric used to make a spacesuit cost per metre? And the answer was B, £2,000 a metre. No, sorry, C, £3,000. £3,000.
Do they get half a point if they said B?
Probably now. It's £3,000 back then. Like, how much is that these days? Google it. That's insane. That's so much money.
69?
Yeah, £3,000 in 1969-ish. $3,000, yeah, dollars. So yeah, question 13. Back then, how much did the fabric used to make a spacesuit cost? The answer to that was C, $3,000 a metre. And then question 14. How does the spacesuit manufacturer ILD Dover ensure there are no pins left inside a spacesuit? Now, I don't know. This is either really, really, really obvious.
About $22,000 now.
$3,000 these days is $22,000 a metre. God, can you imagine getting fabric that was 22? I get worried when I get 40 quid a metre fabric these days.
Caitlin wants to know how many metres would make a spacesuit.
Now, Caitlin, this is a very interesting fact because it's not just one layer. It's made up of multiple layers, but they're still only a millimetre thick. So I'm assuming they were working out the price for all of those layers. So you've got like thermal layers, you've got cooling layers, you've got reflective layers. It's absolutely insane. So yeah, but to make a spacesuit, like, I always want to make you a Rebel Forces suit, don't I? It's about 4 metres. So what is that? £88,000 in today's money to make a spacesuit, 4 metres of.
My birthday's coming up.
I'm getting you an £88,000. Anyway, so question 14. How does the spacesuit manufacturer ILD Dover ensure there are no pins left inside a spacesuit? They x-ray it like twice, at least twice. They x-ray the damn thing to check there are no pins in it, which I think is just such a brilliant thing. Like, I leave I don't leave that many pins in things, but it happens, right, as a seamstress.
Bonus point to Stephen Epstein, who posted that in the chat.
Did he post it in the chat? Yay! Well done. Bonus point. I couldn't. It's such an obvious way of dealing with it, but you know, I don't know what I'd have thought if I didn't know that. You know. Anyway, so and then question 15 was how long does it take to manufacture a spacesuit? It takes, if you know all the skills, it would take you about 2.5 years because it's about 5,000 man hours of work. However, at the company, ILC Dover, it can be produced in 3 months. So if you put 2.5 years, 5,000 man hours-ish, or 3 months, you can have them. Take yourself a point. Or if you even got close to any of those, take a point because that's mad, isn't it? Anyway, so 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20. The first one, do we chuck the pictures up when we do this?
Yes.
So if you chuck question 16 up.
Scissor Chef has developed a policy of counting pins in and counting pins out.
Oh my God, how do you count pins in and out? Oh my God, I drop pins on the floor.
You kept finding them in the fitting.
Scissor Chef is obviously more professional than me. So question 16, this was the picture. It's called a clamp, really, actually. What happens is you clamp it onto the desk, and then the red bit is a pin cushion, and then the little birdie on top, you can twitch its tail and it can clamp stuff in its mouth to hold. So that's beautiful. That's a Victorian one. I just think that's absolutely lovely. Definitely be putting that on my birthday list, because that's beautiful. So question 17, this one. This is a thread waxer from 1880. So you'd get your thread and you'd run it round that. That stuff in the middle, as I said, if you looked really closely, that stuff in the middle was actually beeswax. So you could run your thread through it to wax your thread, which helps it to not snaggle when you're hand sewing. So question 18, these are bodkin ribbon threaders. So they're like posh safety pins. I'm not wrong. They're beautiful, obviously, as well. I don't know when they're from, actually. Bodkin.
They were industrial cravats.
Antique Gorham sterling. God, they're sterling silver. Can you imagine having something like that? They're not for threading cravats. But yeah, so you'd thread a little bit of ribbon through the end of that, and then if it's a long thing you're threading it through, you'd sew it on, and then you'd thread it all the way round and out the other side. So it is like we'd use a safety pin these days, but they're absolutely beautiful, aren't they? I've not seen them in different sizes before either. I think that's just a lovely little touch. So question 19, these are mother of pearl stiletto awls. So they're used for poking holes in things, and they're from 1820. I think they're absolutely lovely. So it's an awl. If you put anything similar to that, give yourself a point. But they're actually called a stiletto awl. It's long and thin, as opposed to short and squat, which is what I use for corsetry. If you make handmade eyelets and buttonholes and things like that, you can poke a hole with a stiletto awl to sort of get a hole in the fabric. It parts the fibres of the fabric without splitting them. So it's really useful. It sort of retains the strength of the fabric. So I think they're really lovely. I wonder if they break really easy. Is mother of pearl strong? No idea. Anyway, so the last one, number 20, and this, I don't know, anyone of a certain age, his mum had one of these, I reckon. This is a darning egg. So it's got a silver handle, this one. It's dead posh. So what you'd do is you'd, for darning sort of like stockings and things like that, you'd put the egg underneath the stocking and then wrap it over the top. And then hold it down around the handle so that the stocking is all flush against the egg, and then you could use it to darn. It's weirdly easy to do, but it takes a bit of getting used to. I've only ever done it once. My mum used to try to make me darn my stockings. Not my stockings, my tights. I did not darn them. What I used to do is sew a little circle of hand stitches and pull it tight and move on with my life. Oh dear. You know, I've been sewing since I was 4, but there was a period when I was about 14 where I did not give a toss. Oh dear. I used to make dresses out of the curtains we used to take on picnics at one point. I made it so quickly it still had the grass stains on it from the picnic. Anyway, so that was the whole quiz. If anyone wants me to repeat an answer, let us know in the comments now. Sorry for the chaos this week, but Perd is, Perd joined in, didn't he? Anyone asking for some questions to be repeated or anything? Mata?
The egg looks like something Gwyneth Paltrow would sell on her website.
It does! It's, God, what's her website called? Goop or something? Oh.
Other nut bars are available.
Other nut bars are available. Oh,
Curtains
Gwyneth.
on picnics.
Yeah, curtains on picnics. Oh, you used to spread it. It was like an old vintage curtain. We used to spread it out and sit down on it and stuff, They were pink. I'll never forget them. They had a really weird smell.
Scissor Chef wasn't kidding. She got 12 points from guessing.
From guessing? 12 points from guessing? That is pretty damn good, I reckon, actually. Any other points coming through? Put what you scored, guys. Remember the last 5 questions were 2 points each. for any combination of answers. As long as you got close, give yourself 2 points. I'm not there. I won't judge you if you give yourself some lenient answering. Any more points?
Serena, lots of guesses. Amazed I got 19.
Serena 19. That's amazing. That's like almost full marks. I think that's the highest score yet, isn't it? 19.
Zoe Brown got a pitiful 9. She's saying that, I'm not judging.
It's not pitiful, Zoe Brown. Anything's a good score, I reckon. Apparently I'm a hard quiz master. I had no idea.
Chaz Clifford James got 11, a lot of guesswork.
Yeah, 11 with guessing isn't so bad actually, guys. Oh, I've got one last thing to show you. Martin, did you get the 21 picture? As a picture 21? Okay, I'm going to wait for Martin to get this picture out because I've got like one last picture to show you. There you go. You should put it out, Martin. It's amazing. So this is an X-ray of a NASA spacesuit, which I thought was absolutely fascinating. That's how much of a nerd I am. There are no pins in it. Sorry, guys. I should have done a little quiz, shouldn't I? Like spot the pin. But yeah, that's what they see when they X-ray. Isn't that absolutely fascinating?
Caitlin got 5, but she was only here for the final 10.
Well, 5 for the final 10 isn't so bad, Caitlin. I reckon that's a bonus, isn't it? But yeah, I can't believe how much stuff goes into a NASA spacesuit. Like the sort of breathing apparatus and stuff is all sewn in. So yeah, they're doing a good job, those ladies from Playtex, aren't they? They're probably not there anymore.
How do they sew it in? I thought it had to be airtight.
Oh, I learned all about rubber seals. And there's a whole team that like glues. There's like a whole team for gluing the seams closed and stuff. Yeah, I learned some stuff today. I'll post the articles. You can geek out with me. Anyway, so that's it, folks. Next week is going to be a bit of we're still doing a quiz, and there still will be 20 questions. But we're going to theme it towards panto questions and pantomime dames because I'm releasing the first of my new pattern range, which is pantomime dame patterns. Well, they're starting off as pantomime dame patterns. They'll continue on. So over the next 5 weeks, once a week on Mondays, I'm releasing a pattern. So the first one, I thought we'd do like a panto quiz to sort of, I don't know, jolly along with it, which could be good fun, and about sewing and panto and costumes and things like that. So if you want to get some research in, get yourself some points, that's what you need to research. But yeah, until then, I've got a lot of pattern cutting.
Prizes to be won?
Oh my god, yeah, there'll be prizes next week. Woo! And it's honour system, guys. You know, I trust your scoring. But yeah, there will be prizes, big and small. So yeah, tune in next week for quite an interesting week. I'm sure I will be exhausted but happy because it's going to be a mad week ahead of me. But anyway, happy mask sewing, happy scrub sewing. Stay in, stay safe. It appears it's working, so everyone, you know, keep up the good work. Treat yourself to a chocolate biscuit for all your good quiz answering, and I will see you next week. Have a lovely week. Bye.